Hello guys. I just woke up and I was gonna go do my dailies, but I'm in this quest and it feels kind of weird to like just leave in the middle of this like a murder, I guess, just happened, and I'm like the defendant for Linny, so I probably shouldn't go do my dailies just yet. I'll I'll go find these clues apparently, and I've figured out. Okay, so here we go. We've got these in the inventory. We can go to this case record.
Why would it be him?
So it has like
Hmm,
clues.
strange.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And then we can
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made
and
preparations
evidence.
well beforehand.
So we're gonna find some clues and stuff, right? So it's very much like Phoenix Wright.
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
Okay. We're detectives now.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Linny didn't realize this was a safety concern, or
Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped. Is that important?
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material.
Actually, hold on. It's made by different material?
Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton. Wow, so someone's used that rope and deliberately wanted to make it easy to burn.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means...
Did they switch the rope?
Wait! Paimon should write all this down. Let's take notes.
The special rope we have. This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It suddenly broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown that the location where the rope snapped was made of flammable material. Okay. Is one? No, we didn't even have a clue yet.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Ah. Could you tell us who she is?
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
She sings with BTS. Boy with love.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Thanks for letting us know this.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Okay, so we have the person. Halsey. Famous painter. Is that the rope one? It's probably still the rope, isn't it? The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. Check out the... Should I talk to them first?
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
She's pretty chill about this. Is it outside? I'm just trying to find these yellow dots. Oh, was that already one of them? Is that my white line? This is where the magic box was struck. If Cal wasn't inside the box at that moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. Oh, are the yellow things just to check leading us to the scenes? I still haven't found any clues. I've examined the magic box. The white line I've examined. The rope I've investigated already. Wasn't that one of the clues? Okay, let's go to the other place. Let's see what's happened. I guess it leads you to where the clue is roughly. Is it outside?
Hey, you! Yes, both
She's-
of you!
she's-
Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for
Oh,
a while.
Navia. That's cool.
Huh? You mean us?
I love that Paimon's still wearing it.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Navia.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Spina di Rosula.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it.
Is that her title? Spina di Rosula. Di Rosula.
Navia have the honor of being its renowned president.
Oh, it's like a club or group or something. Navia. She's a Gia, right?
By our rules, call me boss.
She's got like a thing on her hat. It's pretty cool.
I'm Silver, her attendant.
Silver.
Nice to meet you.
I've heard about him. He's like an NPC, like a NPC with a people like he's got a cool personality or something. Silver.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Mm. Melus. Navia.
Huh?
She's good looking.
Mademoiselle? What gives with the name?
Demoiselle.
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
She looks cool.
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rasula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Do you want to investigate as well?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
True, I agree with you. For some, just feeling.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally.
Yeah, I'm using my intuition as well. Okay. I like how she's posed like that. That's cool as. Okay.
Marina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. I noticed that.
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
She just likes the drama.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Well, when you put it like that.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
Not always.
And why would that be?
Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I do think that the Traveler's response was most excellent.
I like these guys.
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact.
Sounds good.
And if that can be done, boss, then
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors.
Okay.
Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
It's cool. This is fun. I like the music in the background too.
That's more like it.
I think you're missing the point, Paimon. Seem you've already agreed then.
far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering.
Well, she's got really good intuition.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
Okay. Makes sense.
You have a point. talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
We'll be making preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks.
So one talks a lot, one doesn't talk much. We still haven't got any clues.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the opera house
Ooh.
at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
no, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point
Oh,
on.
so she's still inside? What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time, I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here.
Okay.
Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Okay, so did we get another clue? No one left, basically. Oh, we got one. Let's go find the other clues. Something around here?
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
Isildur. He's the guy
If
that
you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
I think he was the heir of Aragorn. And he cut the ring off Sauron's hand.
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
Yeah, we did hear the thud, right?
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I just love that Paimon's still wearing it.
I'm of the opinion that it may have been
So
the
good.
sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
I doubt that she did it.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Oh, but okay. Then wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Oh, strange sound during the magic show. So we have 2 clues now? So there's just one left. I thought we explored this place already. Talk to them.
The
investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Oh, it was rigged.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks
What?
the same number every time.
Wow, and the seats are
I'm
assigned.
sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Thanks, sorry to bother you.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case,
Yeah,
someone had better write it down.
yeah, true, we can't ignore evidence. This is so much like Phoenix Wright, I love it.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Oh, now we go talk to him?
Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting. Huh?
It really is.
See how magic is made.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
She's helping him?
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation.
I like that she's got two henchmen.
And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Cool. Interesting.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
We did look, right?
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye.
She is observant.
That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board.
Oh. Oh, I wouldn't remember that.
So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Wait, does that mean there's another box inside this case? This one?
Exactly. Alright, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Interesting.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box.
Oh, and this passageway linked the two boxes together?
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The two magic boxes are positioned right above the two entrances of the tunnel.
Oh.
See this flatbed trolley?
Oh, it quickly gets you from one place to another?
The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Oh.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
Oh, that's how they do it.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Then what about your side of the trick?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
Phonograph?
My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
Ah. So that it was just a played recording.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Mezzanine, that's like an extra little room, isn't it?
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
Oh, she dressed up as him?
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Oh, really?
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
Oh, because they're twins. That's why he's like a kind of feminine kind of look, isn't it? It kind of, so he can be just like her.
So that's how it all worked! Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing
I
than the
agree. I can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
Yeah, what happened?
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
He's still got a sense of humor. I like it. He's handling very well. Like,
Thanks, everyone.
he's not like
We're counting on you.
frazzled. The magic trick. Okay, so we have a clue there. On stage magic box structure. Audience side magic box structure. Okay. Cool. This reminds me when I was doing that, I forgot what it was, like, was it the interlude or something, or some question in the chasm? And I was stuck inside and I couldn't go out to do my, I didn't want to go outside to do my, dailies, you know, like, resin, because, it would ruin the immersion, because, like, you can't, like, just leave in the middle of an investigation, right?
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right?
Whoa.
Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Linny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right! to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Hmm.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Look at the eyes of the glasses. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Taking a video of that. Okay. Finding a lot of evidence.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick.
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear.
Yep.
And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower vase. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. Okay.
What's this? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
They didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Good point. Dropped hook rope. It's probably important. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Okay. All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Sit and think. I like that you can sit. Trolley. The trolley is crucial for transportation, transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. Oh, can someone have gone through the air vent? Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
That's what I was just thinking.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, this space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes. Okay. And Lini and Let were in the two magic boxes.
Ah, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. So one person can go through, but not two. Okay.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up. ascertain the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Yeah, I just can't figure it out.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement.
Oh.
The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too? What? Will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference.
She's really pretty.
Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
That's what I thought too.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Oh, so okay, so I won't be down to use my resin yet.
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
He's funny.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Now's not the time to be picky.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Oh, I would like that. I'm kind of hungry because I just woke up. Wouldn't I?
What better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Ah, that's so cool. I like it.
Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Oh my god, Paimon. So funny.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
What?
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Huh? I like their crew.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes.
This is funny. It's so jolly. Like, I mean, it's a murder case, but it's like nice music, and they're having
Have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
these guys.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight.
Oh, so she's gonna cook.
You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
Ooh, what's she gonna make?
These three are quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina de Rosalua thing. Navia methodically handles the ingredients. Whoa! Is that macarons?
Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
Looks like macarons because we're in France, right?
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
Silver is hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, so we've got all this stuff, information. I'll check it out later. There's lots to read.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay. Oh my god, this game's hilarious.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
That is cool as.
Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack.
I knew they were macarons. I knew it. I feel like going to eat some right now.
Give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar, would you?
True.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was
True, that's true. Why would you do that? We're left with 2 other people to investigate, and the deceased. 2 people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some
Oh!
between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel,
The thud could have been the vase dropping.
resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
Yep, that's a good conclusion. Was it in?
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
So, they think she was the criminal? The one that was chosen? That's why she's not there. What? But why would she do that?
Thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this 3rd person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this 3rd person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, A poor Cowl.
Is he dead?
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
Why would... She wanted to murder Cal? But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked. True.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to
Only Cal would know, right? Cal would know.
Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
In that time that we were talking.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
Did someone take it?
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate them, you ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon?
Yeah, I believe you.
If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
I believe you, I believe you. She knows how to count and she knows how to eat.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, there's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
She likes cooking.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Navia does a second round of baking. However, the discussion that follows does not yield much.
That's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area.
Is there someone that's invisible? Could that be a thing? That they ate the macarons and they're invisible?
I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
True.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. There's likelihood of a third person is low. So that means it has to just be one of the 2, right?
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
Does that mean we can...
Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Cool, cool. Alright, I'll review them later. Are we allowed to leave now? If we're allowed to leave, I can end it here and do my... use my resin and stuff. Are we allowed to leave?
My apologies, but access to the venue is restricted at this time. Please register first.
So we can't leave? So what do we do? Oh, wait. Oh my god. Wait until 8 o'clock. We're stuck in here, guys. Oh, did I wait? Did I miss the trial? Did I sleep too much? Oh, what? Is the trial gonna start? Is this gonna happen, really?
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts. Do I? Do I have thoughts?
Man, impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
She's really calm about this.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Oh my god, if I was leading Lynette, I would be like, I feel sorry for them because like I'm rocking up with like all these clues, but I haven't got. It's really a case. Hold on one second. I really feel like I bought some barbecue shapes to eat, so I'm just gonna grab them. Best of luck to you. Oh, is the trial gonna start? And like, oh my god, snacks.
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Terrible. I don't know how to save you. I don't have any clue.
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
Well, that's facts.
No, we're already very late so that you are willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
She's so smug. Oh my god.
That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Just you wait.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Isn't it audience?
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Lenny clearly reveals the details of the magic trick.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
True.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Oh, they're doing the... I'm so glad that they did that. Such a Phoenix Wright thing. They always point. Love it. Love it.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Do you have any proof?
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
That is a fact.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Linny not know about that sound? Damn.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
That's a good point.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Ooh.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the oratress's stance on the trial. Ooh.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
How did he not hear it?
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
What does that mean?
The House of the Hearth?
They're for Tui?
No wonder they did something like this.
Damn, they're getting slain.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui is doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
True.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Ooh. Is it up to me to say something?
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost true.
I love that we can see her in a monologue. Oh my god.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Well, at least she works hard at it.
Hey, Linny. Why didn't you tell us this before?
Linny and Lynette are for Tui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linny, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth.
Why did he lie?
Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about it. A magician's ability to con others. Given how Linny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with the other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. Oh dear. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linny.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true. You're
Oh, he wasn't in the box. Why did he lie? He lied to us? Damn.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Maybe there's a reason they couldn't.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linny's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, Let's allow the joy of victory to steep us a little while longer.
While plot is adjourned, you meet with Linny and Lynette backstage.
Well,
There's a plot
this
twist.
is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
Oh, she's even taken off her I guess we're not investigating anymore.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
I'm okay. Child's for Tui and he's alright.
But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we get to know this isn't all just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Okay, is that to get to be on trial?
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
Oh, is that why he was just investigating? Oh, he just wanted to do the trick so he could investigate the core.
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
So I had some time.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
Okay, that's why he didn't hear the thud.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Oh, and what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Well, why did you want to understand how the Oratrice operated?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
I believe you.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Oh, she's a good friend. I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance. The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Watertight. Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
The German is almost over. Let's go back. Oh wow.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Really? I'm glad. Linny's statement, okay. The voice. Was that the voice that we heard? From the water? Hmm. Mm-hmm. The brief adjournment ends and the nail-biting trial recommences.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention, at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linny's perspective.
Based on the opposite accounts of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. This is just like Phoenix Wright. Oh my god, this is just like Phoenix Wright, where you can like when you cross-examine them, you can like pick holes in it. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions in fact and replace them with new inferences. Oh my god, this is cool. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The oratress will display such shifts clearly. Oh my god, that's so cool. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete that cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
Then where's her body?
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's...
Objection!
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced, and what he saw.
Linny entered the tunnel as the countdown began. That's fine. No problem with that. The loud sound was from Linny and Halsey's fight, but Linny claimed that he heard nothing in order to cover the truth up, identify loopholes. Linny's statement, use that?
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Linny knocked at Halsey using the vase and removed her clothes. However, was Linny really in the tunnel at the time? No, he said he was not in the tunnel.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Linny knocked Carl out. The existing evidence indicates that when Linny returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective...
What?
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Is that enough?
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally,
go Paimon.
The surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Nice. Cool. Oh, it's neutral now. I like it. You did.
Paimon actually managed to say all that.
You were.
Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right.
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
Oh, okay. The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion.
If that's the case, then if Carol hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
True.
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. We've managed to turn things around.
Well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Yeah, the rope. Do you happen to remember how you refuted Linny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has also become a critical clue. Choose the most. Special rope? Irrelevant. I'm glad they eliminate some irrelevant ones for us. Strange sounds?
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like it?
How good is the music in the background?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
Wow.
Well then,
Does she have issues?
if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... Select the gear icon in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select answers and fill out the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. Once you have answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic claim. How did the culprit trigger the onstage accident? The guard investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspended the water above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cal in the box below. If Lenny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lenny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box. The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across the tunnel underneath, and Lenny himself would also use the tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge on stage interactions. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for all this remains unknown. Yes. Select any clue to view detailed information. Who was the person who could possibly have committed the crime? Who is that guy? The girl?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
Who was the only person who possibly committed the crime? Cal?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
That's true. Alright.
That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Do you reckon?
Oh, is that so? How interesting. Let's hear your reasoning then.
The rope?
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
He was...
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Select any clue to view detail. Wait. Oh, so I have to select 4 clues that work together?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent.
Damn. How could we envisage Linny as being unable to interfere with the crime? Well, he wasn't there.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract it. No one entered or left the Opera House through its...
I don't know.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so...
Oh, I'm running out of clues. Okay, is it being narrowed down?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been...
How can I prove that there was an altercation in the tunnel?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so... The sound we heard may have come from a clash. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrance. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Hal... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to... The sound we heard...
I don't know what I'm doing. No. Oh, it's just this part that I need to change.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
No.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Has it been narrowed down?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the opera...
The criminal must have understood the methods before Linny's magic trick and must have been in a position to easily modify the equipment. Yes, that's true. Leaving aside how he died, Cal had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cal and Halsey struggling. If Linny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute, this would have given time for Cal to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience pretty much, guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
One thing, what if What if Cal was Halsey? That couldn't be right. And then just change clothes. Could that work? Could they be twins as well?
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Oh.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold it. It's Phoenix, right? Hold it.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract
probably that one.
attention. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into... The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind.
Yes.
If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cal's personal effects.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
After some time, guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each
Ooh.
labeled separately.
Seems guilty.
The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
What?
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is.
Oh, he used it. He
Notes
dissolved
also
her?
state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Damn.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal heart! That one didn't make
No.
sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Select any clue to view detailed information.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank.
Oh. Oh, he wanted the water tank to get rid of all the evidence.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
Oh dear.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
What was it? Lynette. No way. Is Lynette guilty?
The deceased's name is Cowell. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some... The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of... The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but... The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fire... The water from the primordial sea...
Oh, we just have to choose that one. The hook?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for it.
I don't know what it means. What was the hook rope for?
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
Ace Detective.
In the original plan, Cowell Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
Oh, there's balloons. Okay, what happens if they pierce the balloons?
When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey.
Oh my god.
Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage.
Oh.
But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
What happened?
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Damn, so she has like confidence issues.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowl's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
Okay.
What?
Is that like a plant? Someone's set him up?
I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Begin refutation.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
Why would he do that?
Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh my god.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
What's happening? What's happening? Is the scales turning?
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Oh.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh.
Are you serious? Are you serious? She's gonna bring her back?
Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again?
Wow.
Such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
What's happening? What? She's back? Holy crap.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
Wow,
The
twist.
whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence.
Oh, what? She was guilty one?
I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
What?
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Okay.
I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Oh, I remember. I remember now.
You were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure.
Oh no.
So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me.
Who was that?
I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
That's Cal.
There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
Oh!
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're a practiced hand at concealment, probably.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Makes sense.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Yeah, now it's time to refute the Hydra Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Linny entered the tunnel. That's fine. Halsey dissolved. She didn't dissolve.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective...
What?
Sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Oh. Infighting between Lynn and Cal.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cal.
A lot of twists. Linny knocked Cal out.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
Cool.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a...
Ah, because if she was from Fontaine, she would have dissolved.
Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Oh, she hid in the trunk. Oh! Successful.
Through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She ate the macarons, didn't she?
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Go Paimon.
So that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Yay!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
Oh.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact...
Yay!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
It's like a Star Rail wishing.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially
Yay!
declared not guilty.
You deserve it.
Great work, partners.
Good work for you. You got the final clue.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
What?
How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Is he part of it?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you.
Ooh.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon Town? Oh, is that the jail?
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui.
Oh.
The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Oh, they wanted to frame the Fatui.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh, shh. Damn. What happened? He turned into water. What happened?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
She knows who that it is?
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
The plot thickens. However, nothing is found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after Vaughn dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just don't wish to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
Uh-oh.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains.
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Is the knave Alachino?
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here.
Well, they betrayed, Scaramouche.
I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
That's all in the past, though. The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
Oh, so she's a good person.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland.
Oh, so she's actually good.
To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand. And we just walk off. I'm so cool. I love it. Oh my god, is that the end of that one? So are we free to leave here now? Because that would be a nice place to end the playthrough. Man, we did a lot. All because I couldn't do my dailies. I was like, I can't go out now. I can't leave now.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well,
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
I really like this story.
It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer.
That's us. Fresh water. Paimon looks pretty happy with that.
Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Yes.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later.
That's nice.
Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Let's go have that meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in.
Boss Navia.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Oh, we finished? Oh, it's finished? That? Damn. We finished it. Crazy. That was a lot. Just gotta get out of here first. Cool. But did we finish the act, right? I think we finished the act. I suppose we're on to Act 2 of the Archon quest now. Okay. Cool. This music is nice too. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. That was fun. That was really cool. All in this nice little Saturday morning crime solving. That was cool. And I like that it wasn't like too hard. It was good. It was fun, but it wasn't too hard. It was quite straightforward. It wasn't like, yeah, it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and see you later. Bye.